In recent years, there has been a surge in interest towards extreme diets. From keto to intermittent fasting, these eating plans promise rapid weight loss, improved health, and more energy. It seems every other week a new diet trend emerges, capturing the attention of health enthusiasts and the curious alike. The pursuit of wellness has driven people to experiment with their eating habits, sometimes leading to drastic dietary changes. Among these is the carnivore diet, which has garnered considerable attention due to its restrictive nature. The idea of consuming only animal-based products seems radical, yet it has been embraced by a niche community. While many dismiss it as a fad, others swear by its transformative effects. As such, understanding these diets is crucial before diving in headfirst. The appeal of extreme diets often lies in their simplicity and promise of quick results. However, the sustainability and long-term effects on health are often questioned. This essay aims to delve into the carnivore diet, exploring its potential benefits and risks through a 30-day personal experiment. It is important to approach such diets with caution and a critical mind. As we embark on this exploration, keep an open mind, but also question the validity and practicality of adopting such a lifestyle. The carnivore diet is a dietary plan that involves eating only animal products. This includes meat, fish, eggs, and some dairy. Fruits, vegetables, grains, and legumes are entirely excluded. Proponents claim it leads to weight loss, improved mental clarity, and reduced inflammation. They argue that humans evolved primarily as meat eaters, and this diet is thus more natural and healthier. One of the core principles of the carnivore diet is its simplicity. By eliminating plant-based foods, it removes carbohydrates from the equation, leading to a reduction in insulin spikes and potentially stabilizing blood sugar levels. This simplicity appeals to those overwhelmed by the complexities of other diets. However, the lack of variety is a significant challenge for many. The diet is built on the premise that animal products provide all essential nutrients. Advocates often cite anecdotal evidence of improved gut health and increased energy levels. However, scientific backing for these claims remains limited. Critics argue that the absence of fiber and other plant nutrients could lead to deficiencies and health issues over time. Before adopting such a restrictive diet, it's essential to weigh potential benefits against possible risks, and to consider personal health needs and goals. Deciding to embark on the carnivore diet was not a decision made lightly. I had been reading about various diet trends, intrigued by their claims and popularity. As someone always open to experimenting with new ways to improve my health, the carnivore diet piqued my curiosity. The promises of enhanced energy, weight loss, and mental clarity were enticing. I also wanted to understand if the diet could provide the purported benefits and how it would affect my body. Having struggled with fluctuating energy levels and digestive issues, I was curious if the carnivore diet could offer a solution. This experiment would also provide an opportunity to test my discipline and adaptability to a restrictive lifestyle. Another motivating factor was the challenge itself. Could I live on just meat and animal products for 30 days? The thought of stepping outside my comfort zone and breaking away from conventional dietary habits was both daunting and exciting. It was an opportunity to learn firsthand about the impacts of such a diet. Ultimately, the decision was driven by a mix of scientific curiosity and personal health goals. The next 30 days promised to be a revealing journey into the world of extreme diets. The first week of the carnivore diet was, in a word, challenging. Transitioning from a balanced diet to one solely composed of animal products was a shock to my system. The absence of fruits, vegetables, and grains was deeply felt, not just physically but psychologically. Meals felt monotonous, and I frequently craved variety. Adjusting to this new eating pattern proved to be the biggest hurdle. My body seemed to resist the sudden change, and I experienced fatigue and irritability. The lack of carbohydrates led to what some refer to as keto flu, characterized by headaches and lethargy. Despite these challenges, I was determined to persevere. Hunger was not a significant issue, as the high protein and fat content of my meals kept me satiated. However, the absence of fiber led to digestive discomfort. This was an unexpected challenge, highlighting how much we rely on plant-based foods for digestion. To combat this, I increased my water intake, which provided some relief. By the end of week 1, I noticed minor changes in my energy levels and mood. These fluctuations were challenging, but I remained committed to seeing the experiment through to its conclusion. Section 5. Week 2, Unexpected Changes and Observations. As week 2 commenced, I began noticing unexpected changes. My energy levels, initially erratic, started to stabilize. I felt more alert in the mornings and experienced less fatigue during the day. This newfound energy was a pleasant surprise, motivating me to continue with the diet despite its restrictive nature. One significant observation was the decline in cravings for non-animal foods. My body seemed to adapt to the new dietary regimen, and the initial cravings for fruits and vegetables diminished. This adaptation came as a relief, making the diet easier to manage. However, social situations remained challenging, as meals with friends often included non-carnivore foods. Physically, I noticed slight weight loss and a reduction in bloating. This was encouraging, as it aligned with some of the claimed benefits of the carnivore diet. However, I remained cautious, knowing that such changes could be temporary. The lack of variety continued to be an issue, but my growing familiarity with the diet helped mitigate this. By the end of the second week, I was more comfortable with the diet's limitations, and the initial challenges seemed more manageable. Section 6, Week 3, Settling In and Emerging Benefits. Week 3 marked a turning point in my carnivore diet experiment. The initial struggles felt more distant, and I began to settle into a routine. My energy levels remained consistent, and I felt more focused throughout the day. This mental clarity was one of the most notable benefits I experienced, aligning with the diet's claims. Physically, I noticed continued weight loss and an improvement in muscle definition. These changes were motivating, reinforcing my commitment to the diet. My digestive discomfort also improved, though the absence of fiber remained a concern. I became more creative with meal preparation, experimenting with different cuts of meat and cooking methods. One of the most significant benefits was the simplicity of meal planning. With fewer foods to choose from, grocery shopping and meal prep became more straightforward. This simplicity was refreshing in its own way, reducing the stress often associated with meal planning. As the diet became more routine, I reflected on the journey thus far, feeling optimistic about the remaining days of the experiment. Section 7, Week 4, Reflections and Final Outcomes. The final week of the carnivore diet was a period of reflection and evaluation. By this point, the diet had become second nature, and I felt a sense of accomplishment for having adhered to such a restrictive plan for 30 days. My energy levels remained stable, and the mental clarity I experienced was a constant companion. Physically, I was pleased with the weight loss and muscle definition I observed. However, I was mindful of the potential long-term effects of such a diet. The absence of fiber and plant-based nutrients was concerning, and I questioned the sustainability of this diet in the long run. Social situations continued to pose challenges, highlighting the restrictive nature of the diet. Despite the benefits, I missed the variety of a balanced diet. The monotony of meals was a constant reminder of the diet's limitations. However, the discipline and commitment required to complete the experiment were rewarding in their own right. As the 30-day experiment concluded, I was left with valuable insights and experiences to share with others considering the carnivore diet. Section 8. The Science Behind the Carnivore Diet. Understanding the science behind the carnivore diet is essential for evaluating its potential benefits and risks. The diet is based on the premise that humans are naturally adapted to a meat-focused diet, as our ancestors relied heavily on hunting for sustenance. This perspective suggests that a carnivore diet aligns with our evolutionary biology. The diet's high protein and fat content can lead to ketosis, a metabolic state where the body burns fat for fuel instead of carbohydrates. This state is associated with weight loss and improved energy levels. However, the lack of carbohydrates can also lead to nutrient deficiencies, particularly in vitamin C and E, fiber, and other essential nutrients found in plant-based foods. Research on the long-term effects of the carnivore diet is limited, with most evidence being anecdotal. Some studies suggest potential benefits for specific conditions such as autoimmune diseases, due to reduced inflammation from eliminating plant toxins. However, the absence of comprehensive scientific evidence makes it difficult to draw definitive conclusions. While the science offers intriguing possibilities, further research is needed to fully understand the diet's impact on health and wellness. Section 9. Weighing the pros and cons. The carnivore diet presents a mix of potential benefits and drawbacks. On the positive side, many people report weight loss, increased energy, and improved mental clarity. The simplicity of the diet can be appealing, reducing the complexity of meal planning and decision-making. However, the restrictive nature of the diet poses significant challenges. The lack of variety can lead to nutrient deficiencies, particularly in vitamins and minerals found in plant-based foods. Digestive issues are also a common concern, as the absence of fiber can affect gut health. Social situations can be difficult to navigate, as the diet is not conducive to typical dining experiences. Additionally, the long-term sustainability and health implications of the carnivore diet are uncertain. While some may thrive on this diet, others may experience adverse effects. It is crucial to approach such a diet with caution and to consider individual health needs and goals. Ultimately, the decision to adopt the carnivore diet should be made with careful consideration and informed by both personal experience and scientific evidence. Section 10. Final thoughts and recommendations. After completing the 30-day carnivore diet experiment, I gained valuable insights into the benefits and challenges of this extreme dietary approach. The experience highlighted the importance of understanding one's own body and nutritional needs before making drastic changes. While I experienced some benefits such as weight loss and increased energy, the diet's restrictive nature and potential nutrient deficiencies were significant concerns. For those considering the carnivore diet, I recommend consulting with a healthcare professional to assess personal health conditions and nutritional requirements. It is essential to approach the diet with an open mind, yet critically evaluate its impact on overall health and well-being. Moderation and balance should always be the guiding principles in any dietary decision. In conclusion, the carnivore diet is not for everyone, and its long-term effects remain uncertain. However, for those willing to experiment, it can offer insights into personal health and resilience. I invite readers to share their thoughts and experiences, fostering a community of learning and support in the journey towards wellness.